Ask yourself the damn question. Is winning the only thing to you?
Sports today are not just played on the field. They're played every day, online, all over the world, by sports fans just like you.
Don't you dare breathe. That won't get you anywhere. If you don't think you're a winner, you don't belong here.
The Star Fantasy League Show puts you in control of your own team. Find out who to sit, who to start, how to play, and have your daily fantasy sports questions answered with your host, Jonathan Sprung, and co-host SFL CEO Zach Stanley and Nick Steblenko. The Star Fantasy League Show is on the air now.
Hello and welcome to the Star Fantasy League Show here on 105.5 The Team in Rochester. I'm your host, Jonathan Sprung, joined, as always, by SFL CEO, Mr. Zach Stanley.
I'm deciding,
No puns.
I'm deciding not to
puns.
do any puns. I'm just going to sing Billy Joel.
Oh, you know what? I like that. I like this a lot better. The show is starting out promising. Please, Billy Joel me.
River of Dreams.
Okay.
I've been walking in the middle of the...
Okay, you've already completely lost me.
Through the river so deep.
I was so in on this whole Billy Joel singing thing.
I've been searching for something.
Don't approve. All right, next to Blanco, Teddy Bear 2, you're here, but apparently you're not really here today.
No, I'm here. I'm just, I have a little bit of a lost voice. I had a lot of fun this past weekend.
Bonsai.
I got to enjoy the beautiful weather. I mean, August is always known for its flowers, and, it's a wonderful time.
And mosquitoes, many mosquitoes. I
Yep.
got to watch Seth Young cry the other day. That was fun.
I've managed to avoid really bad mosquito incidents so far. I've had a couple of nights where I, wake up the next day and I'm like, crap.
Yeah, don't go to Parma Disc Golf Course because that has about 10 million.
Feeding ground.
It's a feeding ground.
Yeah.
And Seth Young was dinner.
We all know, but late in the night in August is when it gets bad. So for everybody, if you're out there, want to make sure that you're covered up, get some off, whatever you need.
Did you really say for everybody if you're out there? If they're listening, they're clearly out there. They're in Rochester.
No. They're out there listening, but if they're out there late at night,
Oh, I got you.
then they got to be ready.
I understand.
Get some of those whatever sarsaparilla candles or whatever they're called.
Citronella is the word you're looking
Sarsaparilla
for. Wow, that was not even
Yeah,
close.
awesome.
citronella. That's it.
I'm glad that we stopped the puns today. We are talking about the
fantastic.
San Diego Superchargers.
Go Chargers.
I love
Go.
that. San Diego Superchargers.
The team that never changes.
This sounds about right. They either go 8-8, 9-7, or 7-9 every single season.
Yeah.
Except for that stretch they won 12 games every year. But don't worry about that. That didn't actually happen.
Well, it's not just the fact that they never really change their record that much. They also never really add that many people on.
Well, and it's like the way they do it. They're like the most heartbreaking team in the game because either they'll start off and they're really good. They're like 6-1 or 6-2, and then they just tank for the rest of the season. Or they start off and everybody thinks they're going to be great. They're terrible, and then halfway through the season they find out how to play football.
It was definitely the latter this past season because the offense was really good all year long, but the defense couldn't figure out how to play football until about week 10 or week 11, and then they won 5 of their last 6 games and still barely got into the playoffs because Ryan Suckup is a chud. Ryan Suckup is a chud. I'm going to keep saying this.
Suck it up.
He should. He should learn how to kick a chip shot. Stupid kicker.
Yeah, well, it was surprising what Phillip Rivers was able to do, that's for sure. After
Revival.
Such an abysmal 2013, he really came back and ran the offense last year on a lot of plays and looked really good doing it.
He killed it.
Keenan Allen, a bright spot, a shining star.
Keenan Callan. Oh, yeah.
What?
Nick's wearing a Cal hat, so I guess
He went to Cal.
Yeah, you're really going to call him Cal?
Yeah, Keenan. my
nobody
boy
can
Callan.
see you pointing to your hat.
Okay, well, everybody should know that I have a Cal Bears hat on.
Yes,
And
if you're at the
go
Star
Cal.
Fantasy League's office and you see Nick wearing his hat, just make sure to mention Keenan Allen.
Shout out to all my West Coast crew.
Oh,
yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, yeah.
So I guess, Keenan Allen came in and really showed up and showed as a great pick for the Chargers. Woodhead,
Mr. Undrafted somehow.
Yeah,
What a
he's-
joke again.
Unsung hero, really unsung.
He is, yeah.
76
76.
catches last year?
I got laughed at for picking him in the last round of one of my drafts. Laughed at.
How many players have you taken in the last round since we started the NFL?
I drafted like 14 teams last year.
Yeah, I've
He
already.
acts like you're not allowed to draft more than one
I did a
team.
draft last night.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
How did it
But
go?
it's the way
It went
it's the way that you,
great.
it's the way that you talk about like it was your main team. Like you talk about you say I drafted him in the last round well, was it team 1, team 14? Like, when did you do this?
I think Nick just wants to derail the show and insult me.
I'm
at
slightly derailed.
He's trying to burn down your season-long talents.
Yeah.
Burning down the house.
I do have a 20-man league that's going to go for the second year in a row. I'm
Really?
excited about that. Yeah,
I've never done something that big.
It's a disaster, but in an awesome way.
I
Shout out to Tito. I told him I'd mentioned Tito's Twitter league. It's a lot of fun. 20 people. It's all through Twitter, too. It's great.
I made the concerning pick that we talked about last night.
Oh, no.
I took Arian Foster.
Oh, no.
At the end of the third round.
Ooh.
Dead end of the third round, which is pretty crazy.
Where'd you go before that? I'm actually curious. Running back, wide receiver?
I was 11th pick.
Okay.
I got Demarius, and then I got Monty Ball on the way back.
Did you really?
Yeah, so I was pretty jazzed up.
I'm having that dilemma. I'm not sure who to take there. Demarius seems like the right way to go.
You went very, very heavy on one division, didn't you? You went AFC North. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry, AFC South. My bad. I keep forgetting that. Ridiculous.
What?
Oh wait, no, you didn't. Wow, I am so
2.
over. Yeah, I heard.
Swing and a miss.
I heard Houston. I got excited. Whatever, it happens. All right, we're actually talking about San Diego. I don't know how we went off on this random tangent of drafting and insulting and all that good stuff.
Oh, and I got Andre Johnson too at the beginning of the fourth.
Ooh, how exciting!
This is fun.
So you did. You picked 2 guys from the same teams.
Demarius Thomas, Monty Ball, Arian Foster, and Andre Johnson. Pretty exciting.
Not
Certainly
too bad.
looks good on paper.
It's more exciting than
that's what I
it's
thought.
more exciting than the hopes of the San Diego Chargers this year. They're actually the exact opposite schedule-wise as Kansas City. I mentioned Kansas City has a absolutely brutal opening 6 games. I could see them going 1-5. I think San Diego actually has a nice, in comparison, their schedule is a lot nicer.
But see, this is the classic Charger setup here. You know, last year they came on really strong, kind of surprised people, won in the playoffs. And this year you're going to say, oh, yeah, you know what? Maybe they're going to take the next step. Keenan Allen is another year older. They get Malcolm Floyd back. And then they get an easy schedule to start other than the Seahawks in week 2.
Yeah.
And watch, they're going to go 2-4.
Can you please explain to me? Yeah, their first 5 matchups are against Arizona at home, home versus Seattle, at Buffalo, Jacksonville, the Jets, and then Oakland. So they have a nice little schedule there to open up.
They should be able to win at least 4 of those games.
Yeah, it should be 4-2, 5-1, something like that.
At least 4, and then possibly against Arizona. But I really think 2-4 is what's going to happen.
No,
Going to be tough to come into Buffalo, come into Ralph Wilson Stadium, and take one from the Bills.
But
there,
if they're not primed for the playoffs by the end of the season, last 5 weeks they lose all 5. I guarantee it. At Baltimore, home New England, home Denver, at San Francisco, at Kansas City. That is one of the worst last 5s I've seen so far, and we've been doing half the league so far.
Yeah, that's a buzzsaw. They could
hard.
be really well positioned heading down the stretch, and then all of a sudden it could unravel.
That's what I'm saying. They need to basically already either have a playoff spot pretty much locked up with like 8 or 9 wins, or they're done. I don't think you can get through that last part of that schedule.
Well, 8-8 it is again.
Yeah, pretty much. That's why I said this team likes to be around that schedule. That's
it does seem right. 8-8, 9-7. It seems like they're in line for that again.
Yeah, but let's talk about what this team did in the offseason, because let's be honest, their defense, while it was really atrocious overall, 23rd overall defense, 29th against the pass, they were okay against the run, but they got better as the season went on. They started giving up, not 38 points every game towards the stretch. They did well in the playoffs. Their defense gave up, I think, 24 to Denver. And something like that to Cincinnati as well. But what did they do to shore up this defense? Because we all know they needed it.
Yeah, they really didn't do a ton. I mean, they certainly drafted pretty well. I think they focused on defense. They only had 4 draft picks though, so
yeah, that's a problem.
And then as far as free agency goes, Brandon Flowers is a name that stands out as more name value than actual production. I think he didn't fit in very well in Kansas City.
No, Andy Reid came in, changed the scheme up, and all of a sudden he went from a Pro Bowler to being out.
So I guess we'll see how he factors in. But I mean, overall, I think you're really just looking at Jason Verrett. He's their top draft pick. He's probably going to factor in pretty heavily, and then we'll see where the other guys factor in.
Well, they definitely needed secondary help when you're 29th against the pass.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like they were playing ahead of teams and getting thrown on like Denver. That was why their defense was so bad. This team they were playing tight games and still getting bombed on.
Yep.
Yeah, the defense is the major issue there. They put up enough points last year to have done a little bit better, and it's hard to see them really deteriorating offensively this year with all the different weapons that they have. They have a solid core of receivers, some veteran guys in there with Floyd, who I think is a lot more capable than people give him credit for.
Absolutely.
And Eddie Royal, who is I don't know.
I think Eddie Royal's a solid slot receiver. I don't think you should expect more. And then Floyd, if he stays healthy for the whole year, he's a heck of a lot better than Vincent Brown.
Well, here's the thing with all the weapons you talked about, kind of these guys, this Ivy, all that, but their running backs and tight ends are so good at catching the ball. I don't think you really need the best receivers in the league with this team.
Who's going to be playing tight end? Because Antonio Gates is getting older, and Ladarius Green is supposed to be the guy coming up, but I don't know that Gates is ready to relinquish that role.
I don't think he's ready, but
does he have a choice?
Yeah, I don't think he shouldn't have a choice.
Dramatic decline from everything that I've seen in his play.
Ladarius Green, I'm looking at his actual
Baby Gates.
He is Baby Gates. 6'6", 240 pounds. He runs a 4.5 40. 4.5.
I mean, that's a player that you should be having in every single play. And with Phillip Rivers, that could be a monster.
They clearly showed when he was actually getting snaps and taking over a higher percentage of the action, he was making some plays downfield. He's a guy that can run.
Wasn't he he's like a junior college guy too, right?
Was he really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was really.
I think he went to Louisiana Lafayette.
He was really big into basketball.
But hold on. That sounds really familiar. Who else was really into basketball in college and all of a sudden became yeah, there you go. Exact same player.
Hang on.
I'm pretty sure he was a basketball guy.
We're going to see.
This would be pretty,
Louisiana Lafayette.
This would be pretty funny if he's never played basketball before and Zach's just way off.
Right, maybe I'm just like really I'm going full force with the baby.
You're just portraying him as Antonio Gates.
I'm making his own storyline for him.
That might be true, but that's going to be actually one of the biggest questions of the season is will Gates kind of pass the torch? Because I think based on what I saw last year of what he can do downfield, he can run and he can outrun linebackers like easily. From what I saw.
Gates or Green?
Green.
Okay, yeah. We know that, but the question is how much does Gates have left in the tank too? Because 34 years old, that's getting up there. He's had so many foot problems, so many injuries to his knees, and it's just too much. After a while, you got to say, yeah, maybe I'm just more of a second tight end now. And I don't know. I mean, he's a competitive guy, and he doesn't want to give up anything. But we'll see. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how Mike McCoy utilizes it.
Why couldn't we see some two tight end sets out of this? Why don't they start actually playing to the strengths of the team? You have really good tight ends. Why not actually go that way?
Well, they also have really underrated wide receivers, though. I mean, they have a lot of pieces on this offense, and they have a quarterback who is, in my opinion, probably among the most underrated in the game. So, I mean, it's just crazy how this team can be so good offensively, and yet they can't finish higher than 9-7.
Yeah, you're not going to believe this. Since you said they're so underrated, I think we're going to actually have to talk about that after the break. Could you believe that?
Big time.
All right, here's the deal. I think he was one of the big he was a big college guy, I think. I mean, high school. Big high school
basketball
guy, yeah.
Oh, look at that. You found it right before the break. Perfect. Thank you for that Ladarius Green update. After the break, we are talking about what Nick just mentioned, the underrated story of Phillip Rivers in fantasy. Why is nobody taking this guy? Seriously.
Should be going way higher.
I completely agree. After the break, more San Diego Chargers, more fantasy talk, and you're listening to the Star Fantasy League show on 105.5 The Team.
The Star Fantasy League Show. Information is key to being a successful fantasy team owner, and the guys have all the updated info you need right now. Okay, fantasy sports fans.
There's a letter in your mailbox.
Time to dig into Donald's mailbag for your questions and comments.
Read the mail, read the mail, read the mail.
Jump in the game. Send your questions and comments to the Star Fantasy League's team by tweeting at SFL Show.
We are back, and during the break, since Zach liked to mention what a star Ladarius Green was in college and high school basketball, we decided to watch some compilation videos, and man, that guy can dunk for his size.
He can get up there. Hey, when you're that tall, you got to think that he could have had a career in basketball, given his just all-around athletic talent, prowess, and dribbling skills, I'm sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him on the mean streets of wherever the heck they play in San Diego.
Let's be honest here, though. Any tight end in the league that is, massive and fast could probably be a basketball player.
Wrong. Jason Witten could not play basketball.
He's not fast.
He used to be fast.
It was so long ago.
Yeah, that was about 12 years ago, and now he's in the same boat as Antonio Gates. It's like, hey, get out, although he can still
Yeah, and there's
play.
nobody else in line.
That's true.
And Romo loves him.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna Tony Romo is going to retire,
and he
with
doesn't
Jason Witten.
get injured every other game.
Unlike,
He doesn't deal with perpetual turf toe.
Yeah, that's not an injury
He's
you
extremely
want.
durable, yes.
This is true. All right, we were talking about the San Diego Chargers before the break, and Nick decided to mention a name that, for some reason, although I kind of understand why he's underrated, because people just don't trust him after, 3 years ago where he stopped throwing touchdowns and just started tripling his interceptions. Phillip Rivers. We have to talk about this guy because I think he has all the tools to be a great quarterback. He's got an incredible arm. He is a bit of a hothead, but let's be honest, you kind of need to be.
That's his game.
So's Tom Brady.
Tom Brady's a jerk, though. Like, when he gets angry at the wrong, like, he yells at refs. He's a jerk.
I don't know. Tom Brady was pretty cool on Entourage. I liked him there.
Oh, my.
That was fun.
Really?
What? He was fun there.
He was very enjoyable.
Giselle cooks. She's nice.
Giselle cooks?
She cooks.
She cooks by calling for someone to bring some food.
She cooks.
Hey,
he said
come
she
on now.
cooks. I believe him.
Get out of
here. It has to be true.
Get out of here. All right, so we got to talk to Phil Rivers. Got all the talent in the world. This year, I think he's got a nice cast of characters that could lead to him having, like a top 7 fantasy year, and
that's
nobody's
just
talking.
What they want you to think. Those Chargers.
Oh, so you're not okay. So you're saying I was gonna say before the break you said he was underrated. Now you're going to overrate him.
I do think he's underrated, but I really, honestly, we're seeing him go in the 10th round, and you have to take him there. If you get him that far down, you have to take him. But I would really, really advise you to get a strong backup or second quarterback, because I would not be surprised to see that we've seen it so many times, to see Rivers
crap out.
Yeah, you got to remember, Ken Wisenhunt took a job in Tennessee, and he was one of the main pieces that helped Rivers get back to where he was.
Well, what a surprise! We mentioned Ken Wisenhunt for the 80th time, resurrecting a quarterback's career. That's what he does.
So you think he's better than Kaepernick?
Yes, I don't like Colin Kaepernick. We can talk about that anytime.
You think he's better than Cutler?
Yeah, Cutler, I think, has way, way more established pieces. So no.
Yeah, except they're fighting each other. Martellus Bennett suspended and now
except if Rivers can keep his interceptions down, then I have no doubt that he can.
There's a lot of guys that are staying down, hanging around till the 10th round, though.
That's true, but I think Rivers has a lot of upside.
All right, where do you think he's gonna finish?
In the top 10, easily.
Yeah, for where he's going right now, if you can get him in the 10th round.
Well, I'm not going to say he's not going to be in the top 5, so I think he's going to finish maybe 8th.
You think he's going to finish 8th?
That's what I said. I said top 8. I think
it's not bad.
8's about where he's at.
What was it last year? What are these 4,500 yards, 32 TDs? He had to be pretty far up there.
We're going to check up on that.
He was pretty good last season.
Yeah, he was.
For some reason, I want to say he finished just ahead of Roethlisberger, because Roethlisberger finished around 9th or 10th, and I think Phil Rivers was just around there as well, I believe.
Yeah, very impressive, and they've seen some pretty good improvements to the offensive line.
Yep. Although their offensive line was pretty good last season.
Yeah,
it helped
was pretty good. I think it's going to continue to get a little bit better. And that running game, I mean, I think this is just something that is overlooked because people expected so much of Ryan Matthews initially. Like when he came in, he was supposed to be this big rookie that came onto the scene. He was okay. He's done okay. He's still the guy that they're looking to carry this team in the running game.
But he's never been great. He's never
been great.
Okay.
But then they bring in Danny Woodhead, and all of a sudden you've got 2 running backs that can be multidimensional, and you can do a lot of different setups, a lot of different schemes with both of these guys. And I think that has been huge for them in keeping the defense on their heels and allowing Rivers to get in the flow from the passing game. And then always they're there to dump off to them whenever you need it.
Here's the thing. The one name we did not mention at all, for addition or otherwise, is Donald Brown is now on this team. He was kind of a standout last year for an Indianapolis rushing offense that needed something. It could just be that they needed anything, and whatever he gave to them was adequate. But
I don't think Donald Brown's going to factor in.
Then why would they go out and grab this guy as a third piece?
Because it's always good to have more guys, more running backs that are capable of carrying a load.
He's a good guy to have on your team. He's capable. Ryan Matthews, not surprisingly, could get another injury. I mean, he's dealt with a lot of injuries. It's a good guy to have back there because he can come in and be at the front of the running game while still allowing Woodhead to maintain his role.
Yeah, I was going to say,
if Matthews ends up getting injured, because Woodhead can't step up.
Yeah,
and
Woodhead
fill
is
the bell
not.
cow spot.
He is
It's
not an
possible.
He's not an every down back. He never will be. He's like kind of a pinball guy. You just throw him out there, do your thing, catch your balls. But yeah, if you're running him on first, second, and third down, your team is in trouble.
No, I think the way that they looked at this was that Donald Brown is the handcuff for Ryan Matthews in that aspect, and then they got Woodhead for the passing game.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I guess you could say Danny Woodhead isn't really a running back. He's pretty much
a joker.
a receiver. Yeah,
he's a joker. Yeah. I think he does a great job at what he does, and I'm happy to see that somebody actually knows how to utilize him now.
But they can run him in a lot of different passing down situations, but still give him the ball in the backfield because he had 108 carries. He can still make something happen, but he needs to be able to work in space. So they pick and choose which downs they use to actually run him on, and then he's also a threat to catch out of the backfield.
Yeah, I'm still really excited for Danny Woodhead. Although, let's be honest, he's being drafted a little bit ridiculously early for.
Well, because he fits in the flex spot really well. I don't know. I think it's right on because 76 catches in a PPR league, you are getting a lot of points out of that. Yeah. That's really good.
That is true. It's Darren Sproles minus a little bit of the rushing, right? That's
where's
pretty much
where's he falling to now?
He's in the sixth. He's in the sixth round.
End of the
31st,
sixth, beginning of the seventh.
31st overall running back, 72nd pick. I still think that's a little bit early.
It's a little tough for me to take him there, just because
there's a lot of receivers.
Yeah, there's a lot of receivers that you're going to want in that situation. You want to start taking some chances on some running backs later on in the draft that could end up getting into a starting spot. Mm-hmm. I have a little trouble looking at him there when I'm already going to be trying to target my running backs early on to get them taken away from my starters. He's one of those guys for me that if it falls, if I see him at a point where I just can't avoid it anymore, then I'm going to take him.
8th round maybe. Yeah. If he gets all the way there, I think it's a no-brainer. But yeah, last year you can't really judge because he went mostly undrafted, and this year, what an overcorrection. He goes from undrafted to 6th round. You saw what he could do.
Yeah. I think a lot of people that were drafting thought that he was a product of the New England Patriot offense, and maybe he wasn't going to be as effective. There were still a lot of people that were high on Ryan Matthews and thought that he was still going to be the guy. I don't think they realized how well they'd be able to work Woodhead into this offense, arguably better than the Patriots.
I don't understand the fact that Ryan Matthews is the 21st overall running back, going 48th in the 4th round. I would prefer Danny Woodhead. I think he's more durable. He does more things for you. He gets, almost 4 times the amount of catches. If his running numbers stay the same, I think he could be a more productive back, and you're getting him 2 rounds later, technically.
A more productive back? What do you mean by that?
Okay, for drafting the running back position, I mean. I don't mean as an actual running back for the team.
I will. Okay, I would disagree. I mean, I think Ryan Matthews definitely has the tools to be a bell cow, and 1,200 yards, and I know he only had 6 touchdowns, but I think there's a chance that could increase. He just needs to stay healthy, and I think that's my biggest concern. But if I get down to the 4th round and I'm not really feeling it, I feel like there's not a whole lot of options left, you could do a lot worse. And I would definitely go with him and then just start snagging wide receivers because Woodhead has a very specific skill set, and his production is kind of capped. At least with Matthews, you have a little bit of a higher ceiling if he can stay healthy for 16 games.
If this line Matthews was a big surprise last year in how much he was able to produce. There were a lot of injury questions. He hadn't had a very good year the year before, especially for how high he was getting picked. But he did look very capable last year. The problem that I have is when you get down there at the end of the 3rd, early 4th, late 4th, I really want to if I'm not going to get a receiver, if I don't have my running backs filled out yet, I really want to get a guy that I know is going to be on the field a lot, and I have concerns about that, not just because Danny Woodhead fills in some time, but because Ryan Matthews has had a history of injury problems.
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
But 1,255 yards, that's crazy.
It is.
I did not see that
I would
coming
say
last year.
do you think that's the ceiling? That's my problem here. I think if this is the number we're looking at, I think you're judging based off of one season of you're surprised he's healthy and you're surprised he did that. Everything
that I've read, Mike McCoy has said that he's a bell cow, so you're going to be getting early down work out of him, and I think he has the ball at the goal line.
But 285 carries?
That's a lot.
I think it's feasible.
Again,
I think it's feasible,
again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you just think I have trouble seeing him, like John said. I have trouble seeing him doing more.
Yeah, if this is the ceiling,
that was a great year. Yeah, it really was.
I think that's going to be hard to get back to that number from. That's why I think Woodhead is safer at a later draft.
Yeah,
position.
the one thing that's good is that the fact that they got Donald Brown.
Yep.
He's not like let's bring him in on 3rd down, pound it guy necessarily. Ryan Matthews can still be that guy. He can still snag touchdowns on the goal line. Woodhead doesn't necessarily take that away from him.
Phillip Rivers finishes the 6th overall quarterback in fantasy leagues last year.
Okay.
So speaking of ceiling, is that the ceiling for Phillip Rivers?
Yeah. I think the ceiling is almost getting in the top 5, but always being right outside of it.
I think he has a top 5 upside.
He has top 5 potential, I think, especially with this receiving core. If Floyd can stay healthy, if Eddie Royal can stay healthy, Keenan Allen needs to be that guy, but he's going to need to get some attention taken off him by the other guys.
Keenan Allen, I think he shocked people. I think he surprised defenses. I don't know if he has. I don't know if he's going to take a huge leap.
So are you scared of him being?
I am very scared of taking him.
In the third round. He's right in the middle of the third round, 30th overall pick.
No, I am gladly not touching him.
You can't. I can't do it. I just can't. I think that last year when he stepped into that role, it was like, holy crap, this kid can really actually play, and nobody saw him coming. Now everybody knows about him, and he's going up against another team's number one cornerback. They're going to game plan for him. I still think he could certainly have 1,000 yards receiving, but I don't see him going as crazy as he did last year, because how many games did he actually start? 10?
No, yeah. I'm happy when I see him go. I've been seeing him go off the board in the third round. I'm like, that's a pick that I didn't want to have, so I'm glad that you took him.
I love those. You're like, I didn't want you. I'm glad it went 2 spots ahead of me. You just don't want the decision on some of these guys. You go, there's so many negatives, but it's Keenan Allen. Yeah, okay.
He is really good. I loved watching him in college. He was the only reason that Cal had any relevance.
Flip-flop.
And I couldn't believe, what do you,
flip-flop. Now pick him. Now pick him. Say you'll pick him.
John, you don't know what the definition of flip-flopping is.
Apparently. I wanted you to flip-flop and go, yep, no, I agree. Third round, pick him. Pick him 28th overall. Do it.
Oh.
All right, coming after the break, it's time for some baseball, but I'm sure we'll manage to throw some more Keenan Allen talk in there. Right, Cal, over here?
Callan.
No, we're not going to talk about it. All right, you're listening to the Star Fantasy League Show on 105.5 The Team.
Play fantasy sports for cash prizes. Join the top daily and weekly fantasy leagues in the country at starfantasyleagues.com. Now, back to the Star Fantasy League Show with Donald, Teddy Bear 2, and the Deucey Moose. Only on The Team.
We are back, and we spent yet another commercial break talking and watching some videos of Ladarius Green dunking basketballs.
Well, we're just so excited about this guy. It seems like he really has a ton of upside. I'm just trying to make it sound good.
No.
Yeah, we have no proof that
we have no proof at all.
I just went back and looked at high school records of him. I'm pretty sure I found the Ladarius Green, and he played in like 2 games.
Oh, wow. So those were the YouTube videos we're watching of the 2 games he sat on the bench in high school.
I couldn't believe it.
We should have ran with it. You should have just be confident, just let it happen. But no, you had to apologize to our listeners. Why would you do that?
I just got really excited about the mini Gates path that we were going on.
Yeah, you literally put him in the Antonio Gates path. You just put him in it.
Baby Gates.
I like.
We love you.
They really should call him Baby Gates. But we have to talk about him. We have to talk about Phil Rivers in a bit. But Ladarius Green is getting drafted well ahead of Antonio Gates, like he should. He's getting drafted as the 13th overall tight end. Let's be honest. If you're outside the top like 4 or 5 tight ends, it's all just a crapshoot, anyways. I personally feel like that.
Yeah. This is the point at which you're looking at guys with upside. I think once you get past the top 10 or so tight ends, you want to start shooting for upside.
This guy screams
maybe
upside.
Even top 8 tight ends, to be honest.
I would say maybe even 6.
Yeah, it's really hard to if you miss out on a couple guys, you're not happy with anybody. Like, I'm not really excited if I don't get Jimmy Graham.
Well,
I'm really not excited.
I don't know. I have a different opinion, but okay.
Do you?
I got 4 guys. Well, actually, I've said before I love Greg Olson. I love Greg Olson this year. I'm getting him in like the 8th round. Well, it's amazing.
Cam Newton and the nobodies. That's the team this year.
Yeah,
but I put Greg Olson as my 6th. I know Jordan Reed is in there too, but I put Olson as my 6th.
You got a 5.
And then,
who you have at 5?
Witten.
Yeah, Witten's.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I love
Witten. Is the
PPR,
guy.
and he's a PPR stud.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I do agree with you. I think you do need to look for upside in a tight end. I haven't heard whether or not he's going to be the guy, and that makes me nervous. So I mean, obviously, as we get closer to the season, I think this is a big time situation to monitor, because if you don't know that he's going to be the number 1 guy, you got to take 2 guys then, I think. I just think you might have to take him and Charles Clay or him and Heath Miller.
I'm not going to be taking him as my 1 tight end.
No, he's your second. He's basically your second guy, and if he blossoms into a number 1, trade him. I would take that value.
Or play him over whoever else you have that isn't doing as well.
But then how much value do you have? If you pick like a Heath Miller or something, then that's basically just throwing away the pick if Ladarius Green ends up starting.
See, I feel like quarterbacks and tight ends, you should be either one of the first to take or in your league, or one of the last guys to take a quarterback and a tight end, because there's just so much value once you get down there. You can find Dalton, Roethlisberger, even Rivers, I can't believe. Yep. And then as far as the tight ends, like you said, it's kind of a crapshoot. You got to see who has upside, and I think you could take Ladarius Green as long as you have somebody else there that you can rely on.
He was showing that he was increasingly involved more in the offense as the year wore on last year. I think this is a guy that's going to come into his own this year. I really do.
Yeah, it's all about whether or not.
But I will say, where he's getting drafted right now makes me a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, people are. I think they're tabbing him as a sleeper. That's what this pick is showing me. They're like, I'm smarter than you. I'm going to take him a little bit earlier than he should be going.
Because Gates is still there, even if Green were to get 55% or 60% over what Gates' production was, that wouldn't be elite.
You're right.
So then are we going the other direction then? Are we trying to say maybe you should pick up Antonio Gates in maybe last couple rounds if he drops?
There's a couple guys that you can look at for tight end that are going down a little further than he is that have upside.
Yeah, I really think it's a wait and see. Wait and see, watch what happens in camp, see how the coaches talk about him, and then, I think you might be able to get a steal in the draft with him.
Perfect. Well, we still have plenty of time. I think it's over 3 weeks until the start of the regular season, right? You're drafting probably about a week and a half, somewhere like that.
I'm drafting every day.
Yeah, me too.
Zach is just drafting every single day. I like it.
I can't resist.
All day, every day, baby.
All right,
an addiction.
Quickly, Nick, before we switch to baseball, where are you drafting Phillip Rivers?
Phillip Rivers, I think probably in the 8th or 9th round.
Really?
Yeah.
Because according to this, he's listed as the 10th, and I think that is just insane. I think that is
No,
way too
because
late.
I think you can. I'm saying I think you can get him in the 8th.
Oh yeah, you can definitely. I mean, are you?
You think that's too late to get him? You think you should get him earlier, right?
No.
I agree
saying,
with you.
I'm saying 8th is good, but yeah, him being listed for ADP at the 10th round is insane. Like if you guys are waiting till the 10th, that's just stupid.
Well, I think I like to wait that late because I think the quarterbacks down there.
I'm amazed at how many Kaepernick, Romo, Matt Ryan, Roethlisberger, Russell Wilson, Rivers, those guys are all partying down there. And even Cam Newton has been falling a lot. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of – if you
That's what I mean.
Cutler,
I've seen it happen plenty of times.
Once you get through Manning, Breeze, Foles, Stafford, those guys, then it's all just kind of a mess down there. Griffin's been falling in some spots.
You didn't mention my man.
Brady.
Rodgers, sorry.
Brady, that
Brady's
guy.
my boy.
Yeah,
That's
right?
my boy.
Tom Brady?
Brady,
He went to
this office
hold on,
now.
Didn't Tom Brady he went to Cal, right?
Yeah, totally went to Cal, dude.
Yellow and blue,
That was
no?
a good one.
Is
That was
Cal,
good.
Cal not
Really.
yellow and blue? I'm confused.
I'm having a lot of fun with you today. It's good.
He didn't get the Michigan color thing.
The color thing.
Yeah, it was the colors.
It's the associative colors.
Same
yeah.
uniforms, same thing. No.
Thanks,
He's so mad right now. He's just holding it in.
I am
It's like
pissed.
the Packers
I'm
and the
so
Jets
furious.
are both kind of green in their own way.
Absolutely.
It's like the same team, I
It's
guess.
Exact same. I mean, gangrene all around.
Oh my God, he is boiling. He's about to burst. All right, we gotta switch gears a little bit and move on to baseball for Monday on StarFantasyLeagues.com. We got only 10 games to talk about. That's why we kind of just did our own thing, talked about some more football because let's be honest, football, America's game, right?
Well, we're just locked into it at this point.
Yep.
We're launching our season-long platform today on
Our what?
StarFantasyLeagues.com. Season-long NFL games. They are coming on the site.
Woo!
Drafts,
I'm excited.
software, playing, money, winning.
Football.
He's just
Football.
Zach is literally broken right here. He's just saying words and hoping they form a sentence.
Stuff, things.
Yeah.
Well,
Football.
John, you know when I started Star Fantasy Leagues with my brother that this was one of the big dreams was to have a season-long platform that blew away everyone else's pay-to-play season-long platform,
you know what?
and I think we've got it.
Yeah, the days of dreaming are over.
They're here.
Dream time is done. Reality time is now on StarFantasyLeagues.com.
And we've got a big bonus, too.
Yes, we do. Are you excited for the bonus? You know what? I think we should save it to the end of the show so we can tell all our
we'll
listeners.
punch that in the end. Well, that'll make them listen till the end. So.
I know. That's why we'll give you the plays of the day, and we'll also give you a big bonus if you want to deposit today.
Perfect.
And I'm not just giving it away for free. I'm a professional, man. Come
Huge
on.
bonuses.
Whoa, huge.
Big bonus.
If you're in Rochester, you know what a huge bonus is, right?
Huge.
Gotta give some huge bonuses away. All right, so we're talking about Monday schedule, StarFantasyLeagues.com for baseball. Only 10 games, which means it's kind of not that many things to look at. Let's start with pitchers because I like to do that recently. It's a lot better way to. I know there's only 3 starting pitchers you get to put in there.
I've got one for you.
Okay, if you say Felix, congratulations, yay.
Justin Verlander.
Okay, this is the point of the show
I knew that's where it was going.
anytime Justin Verlander starts, Zach likes to go off. So, Nick, please give us a pitcher that you're interested in for Monday.
All right, I got a couple that I'm looking at. Jesse Hahn, I really love. I think that he can face down any lineup, and I know he's going up against Colorado, but I really don't care. I think the guy's got what it takes.
Colorado who? They don't really have any of the big
they're
names
all
we're talking
beat
about.
up.
Yeah, and this one's in San Diego, so you're all set with that.
Well, and also Jesse Hahn, he worries me a little bit only because I haven't seen him get over 10 fantasy points, and his salary is steadily creeping into the spot where you need to get 10 fantasy points.
Yeah, I think he's capable of doing that tonight.
I mean, if he gets you 8 to 9, just under 10, it's
Anytime
not the worst.
Anytime Colorado was on the road, they played the Cubs and they couldn't score.
That's true.
So I think this is a good one. The other one that I really like is Sonny Gray against Kansas City. I know Kansas City's still in the playoff hunt, and I know that they still have.
Haven't they won like 8 in a row?
I don't care. I really don't, because I think Sonny Gray is going to stop that. It's going to be done and over.
Sonny Gray.
Yep.
All right, you know what? A thing that annoys me. There's two guys who have almost the same name, and they pitch every single time on the same day, and we have to talk about them. And I always get confused. It's Yordano Ventura and the other one. I'm not saying the other guy's name. It's Giovanni Gallardo, but they sound the same.
Like
Their names, I always confuse them every single time. Giovanni and Yordano. Nick is trying to figure out why they sound
I'm
similar.
with you. I'm with you. I get confused myself.
I'm trying to figure out why you're confused after we talked about them for like 6 months.
Because every time I see the name, I go, oh, yeah, that's the guy I like. And I go, wait, no, that's not the one I want.
Oh, so you admit it.
What, that I don't know the difference between the two?
Don't know what you're doing.
Thank you. Yes, I have no clue what I'm doing. I actually love your Giovanni Gallardo tonight. Pitches for Milwaukee.
You gotta love that against the Cubs.
Yeah, anytime we keep mentioning it, it's beating a dead horse. The Cubs are 28th against righties. Giovanni Gallardo, he's a pretty solid pitcher. Everything about him. He's a guy that's going to go out there and probably get you 7 to 8 points, which around his salary is around $12,000 right now. I think that's a perfect matchup for tonight. Got to keep it easy. Nice little salary, put it in there.
But how can you not look at Justin Verlander, really?
Are you seriously going to keep with this?
Yeah, he's done. He's given up like 3 or less runs in his last 4 starts. He hasn't had as many strikeouts, but he should have a decent opportunity to get the win tonight. And it's an over/under of 7.5, and Detroit's favored. I feel good about it. Why should I not? Why should I not? Ask yourself.
I mean, okay, ask yourself the damn question. I feel like Pittsburgh without Andrew McCutcheon is a little bit of a nice matchup for him, but I don't think I'm going with it.
That's fine. I just think he's the guy that is so capable. But I mean, he hasn't gotten, he was just below 10,000 last start.
Yep.
This start pushed him over 10,000. He's sitting at 10,300. This is usually when he makes a little bit of a push, though.
Yeah,
and they need a win.
Yeah, well, yeah, they do.
Personally,
floundering.
Because all of a sudden there's a power outage in Detroit. I don't understand.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and I had to watch 19 innings yesterday while I had the golf on. I had the Tigers game on my computer. I knew we weren't going to win.
What a rough life for you.
19 innings. Can you remember the last time I've seen that?
Actually, I was
2 days ago. 2 days before, wasn't it?
Well, I was actually at the A's game last year when they went 19 innings. That was insane.
All right, speaking of Verlander and how much
they didn't pass out hot cocoa.
Yeah, nice. Speaking of how much value Verlander gives you, I actually like Shelby Miller. He's pitching against Miami. It's another one of those teams. They've been coming on a little bit, but they're still middling against righties. They strike out number one, highest percentage in the league. I just like him under. He's around 9,000 on StartFantasyLeagues.com.
The only thing that I will say, and I don't disagree with you. The only thing that I will say is that the strikeout numbers at this point in the season, they can sometimes be a little skewed because there's so much data at this point.
Well, and there's so many players coming in, coming out. The lineup may not have some of the players that are actually in that current iteration.
So, yes, I mean, I know Miami does strike out unusually – or not, I'm sorry. They strike out at a very high rate on paper, but I would look at the last 2 weeks to a month and see how they've been doing because they have been hitting better.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, Shelby Miller, he's so-so.
Yeah, exactly. Well, save some money. All right, so who are we going with? One stack, if you each want to give me a stack we're looking at for
Atlanta. How about this? The Dodgers pick up Kevin Correa.
I know.
Why?
He was on King Chudmore, wasn't he?
He's horrible.
Sorry,
He's
Mount
like
Chudmore.
the guy that they're just throwing at the end of the rotation to have somebody there. I don't understand.
Pretty much.
Woo!
Pretty much.
How
and
excited are you about that?
Didn't they get Roberto Fausto Carmona Hernandez the
third? The third. God, don't screw up his
10th?
name. Sure.
I just love the matchup against Correa. I know that Atlanta, they do strike out against righties, but this should not be that kind of night.
Yeah,
should be great.
This is not a righty I'm scared
I like
of.
Baltimore.
Yeah.
Looking at Baltimore. Also, that Texas-Tampa Bay game looks pretty nice.
Yep.
That Texas-Tampa Bay game, I'm sure we'll be talking about it for our plays of the day when we come after the break. And we got bonus news for everybody on StartFantasyLeagues.com and you also the Star Fantasy League show on 105.5 The Team.
You're listening to the Star Fantasy League Show. Contact the StarFantasyLeagues.com guys via Twitter at SFL Show.
That is right. You can tweet us at SFL Show if you want to get in on the action, but we usually give away free stuff at the end of the show. I'm going to be giving away free stuff now and at the end of this segment. So
this is as big as it gets.
Tune in. We got season long coming on StarFantasyLeagues.com. It's coming. It's right there. Just click on it. Join your NFL leagues. If you want some free money, some free bonus money in your account, all you have to do is use the bonus code FREE14. That's FREE 14. It's a 100% deposit bonus up to $2,000. Not like $100. That's $2,000. It's in there. It's good for a year. You can use the bonus. And you also get an $11 entry into one of our games in Star Points. All you do is you put the money in, and you get a little entry for yourself.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of money.
Who's doing that?
That's us, StarFantasyLeagues.com.
You.
Oh, we didn't pass that by you, did you?
Who's footing the bill?
I don't want to talk about it. Sorry, we probably shouldn't have given you that information, but we'll, if you didn't hear it now, we'll give it to you at the end of the show, so you don't have to worry about it. Zach,
well, there's no turning back now.
That's very true. We just said it on the air to thousands and millions of people. No, we didn't. Go ahead, give us your top plays of the day for Monday on StarFantasyLeagues.com.
All right, I'm going to be going with Justin Verlander.
What a surprise!
Against the Pirates. Love the guy, just an all-around great person.
He's just a very nice man.
Okay, nobody cares about
Gotta
fantasy
appreciate
nice guys.
what he's doing. I like seeing him put in a little dip after the game, like a classic baseball player. Might want to cut back on that, though, for health reasons. And then I'm going to go with Adam Jones against Chris Capuano.
Capuano.
He's sitting at 8,300. Big bat tonight. Like most of that order, as in general, with Markakis in there as well, as part of a Baltimore snack.
Baltimore snack. I'm hungry.
Oriole snack.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to be putting in Garrett Jones as my value play against Shelby Miller. He's limited action, but a 1.754 OPS versus Miller. So I think I think he could do decent tonight.
Beautiful, Nick.
5,700.
Give us some non-Justin Verlander information.
All right, I'll give you Jason Hayward for Atlanta. I love the matchup against Kevin Correa. I'm not sure why the Dodgers picked up Kevin Correa.
Nobody
is.
is.
I know that they wanted an extra pitcher for the rotation, but there's a heck of a lot better they could have done. Value play is going to be Matt Joyce, another lefty versus righty matchup. This one against another Chud, Colby Lewis, who is on Mount Chudmore at the Star Fantasy League show.
I love it. Mount Chudmore, my fafavorite word in the world.
Pitcher of the day is going to be Sonny Gray. I know Kansas City's a little hot, but I love Sonny Gray, and he's just a really great guy all around. I'd love to hang out with him.
What a great guy. Thank you, yes.
And,
Verlander.
and stack the Atlanta Braves.
All right, I'm going with Evan Longoria tonight. I think he's actually been pretty decent. Past week hasn't been that great, but he's going up against Colby Lewis in Texas. Please, please, please. He's around 7,000 StarFantasyLeagues.com. Get him in there. Giovanni Gallardo, not Yordano Ventura. Giovanni Gallardo for pitcher of the day. I get them confused all the time. It's like the Zeller brothers in basketball.
I feel like anybody that wasn't confused, you just confused them.
No, Giovanni Gallardo. Pitches for Milwaukee, going up against the Cubs. Great value.
Well done.
Great pitcher. Should get you 10 points today. Going back to my old faithful for value play of the day, John Singleton against Tommy Malone, who got traded to Minnesota. Nobody's sure why. Who the hell wanted Tommy Malone? Nobody.
Yeah.
Who wanted Tommy Malone?
I think he spent a little time in Rochester.
Did he? Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And for a little bit of value, I said I liked Longoria. I also like some of the other Tampa Bay Rays against Colby Lewis. Like, come on.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty solid value stack.
Yes, indeed. You mentioned it. It's definitely value. But you know what else is value? Do I have to tell you?
Yes.
Bonuses.
Yeah, Zach doesn't want to hear about this. Cover your ears, Zach, because I'm going to give away free value yet again on StarFantasyLeagues.com. You can still tweet us at SFL Show for $5 free in your account. But I said it before. I'll say it again. Free 14. That's FREE 14. You get 100% bonus to $2,000 and an $11 credit into your account.
Hey, is that a caps lock?
FREE 14.
Do capital letters count?
You can put caps. You can put just lowercase.
It just has to say free.
You can put a combination of caps and lowercase. It really doesn't matter.
Season long
footballs at StarFantasyLeagues.com. You still got football, baseball, all the sports going on.
Big time, baby.
And let's be honest, since there's a certain pitcher going today, if you don't want to be best friends with your buddy Justin Verlander, you're doing fantasy wrong.
Kate Upton.
Take it easy, guys.